Yeah.
Thousands of people who've expressed their love for Mr. Layton would agree. I think what's more interesting, though, is if you take a look at the thread of commonality between all of the various individuals who are suggesting these things. We've basically got the folks over at Sun TV, Ezra Levant, screaming and yelling about the CBC on a regular basis because that's what he wants to do these days. So he's going to use this as his own political platform, which I think is a little bit disgusting. In fact, I think he's just a little bit disgusting, and he can clip that if he wants to. Over onto Barbara Kay while I'm at it.
Little ad hominem attack.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, if he's going to engage in ad hominem attacks on basically every single personality who sits here on your particular political show, I'm going to throw an ad hominem attack back on occasion.
Ooh, Timmy.
Now back to the other two, Christy Blatchford, Barbara Kay, provocateurs. That's what they're paid to do.
Ooh, Timmy.
But perhaps they are provoking a little bit too soon, for heaven's sakes. Mr. Layton's not even in the ground yet, folks. And I think that it's rather quite disgusting that folks are very excited about the number of hits that they're getting on their various sites, the number of emails that they're getting. She was on a radio show in Atlantic Canada, proud of the amount of hate mail that she's currently getting. That's not something to be proud of when you're getting hate mail when people have that sort of response. You know, so I don't have a lot of respect for those particular individuals at all. I think they're disgusting.
Ooh, Timmy. Ooh, Timmy. Ooh, Timmy.
Sure, they've got great things to say about you.
They never have had anything good to say about me, and quite frankly, you know what? It's time that the left hits back, and that's what I'm doing today.
We're here. We're not queer, but we're close. Get used to it. We're here. We're not queer, but we're close. Get used.
Well, good for you. But I would, far be it from me to agree with Ian on anything, but as far as the state funeral, I don't think the protocol is clear. First of all, Darcy McGee got a state funeral. He was only an MP, Thomas Darcy McGee. The last leader of the opposition to die in office was Wilfrid Laurier. So
1919, and he'd been Prime Minister.
And he'd been Prime Minister. So it's not entirely clear that if a leader of the opposition had died and it wasn't Jack Layton, that it was somebody less popular, that they wouldn't have got one too. So,
but is it fair criticism? Is it? I mean, has this? You know, you can say whatever you want. You have the right to say whatever you want. But the point is, having the state, when the Prime Minister did that, did he recognize that breaking protocol because Jack Layton connected in a way perhaps others haven't?
Well, to be cynical, perhaps it's good politics. I mean, I think for the Conservative Party, they are going to now look at those seats in Quebec, and they want to be seen as sympathetic characters, and I think it works for them. I also think that they did the right thing. There clearly was a demand for it. I mean, there were 4.5 million Canadians who voted for the NDP in the last election. There were 10,000 people in Parliament Hill yesterday.
And you were there, you saw it.
Yeah, it was an outpouring. I mean, I know 60,000 for Pierre Trudeau.
Something else in common about all those people, by the way, none of them were there to see any of it. Isn't that interesting? All of them sitting in their offices, away from it all, not actually talking to real people, the very thing that they criticize on such a regular basis.
Well, I think that the...
Tom, I'm standing in South Park, Colorado, where the first annual Metrosexual Pride Parade is underway. Yeah!